The only way that we're going to get what we want is if we do it ourselves. And whether that means, and I said it last year and I'll reiterate again, the fundamental right of any victim, whether it's of a crime one-on-one or whether it's a crime of humanity, the fundamental right of any victim is restitution. So let them fight over recognition. Our fight will be over reparations. And yes, we can win that fight.
There is no opportunity in Turkey today for the Turks to have a debate amongst themselves. There is no freedom of speech. And what we should challenge the Turkish government is free your own people and let them talk as to whether or not there was an Armenian genocide. And let me tell you something, they will come to that conclusion. The government is afraid of its own people. And this book has to become world famous because it is a record of Talat Pasha and having the Armenians driven from their homes into the wilds and finally into the deserts to die. And it is his record, and he counts 900,000 in 1915 alone. Finally, two great men, Hakan Dadrian and Taner Akçam, one an Armenian, one a Turk, have produced this book, and it's printed in Turkey, and it just came out last month. The trial record of the Armenian genocide with all the proof from Turkish sources sworn and convicted by a Turkish courts-martial. Because we are not a people filled with hatred, we are people thirsting for justice. And good Turks should want justice as much as we Armenians want it.
But for the children of the Armenian genocide, like all of us here today, each minute of each hour of each day of the 94 years has been unforgettably stained with the blood of our ancestors who suffered this inhumane crime and perished at the hands of the Turkish perpetrators. For this great calamity to be a mere memory would be injustice, as it not only lives on in our hearts, but has defined the Armenian story of continuous struggle for survival, empowering us to thrive not only as Armenians, but as good citizens of the world.
We know what happens. We ask ourselves, what can we do? This ought not to be the case. We ought to be better. We ought to do better. Something should be done. I'm not going to go into everything that we're doing, but believe me, we have people working night and day, as many of you, many of our brother and sister organizations and people of goodwill are. What I do want to do, though, is to also report that we've made enormous progress in building the Armenian Genocide Museum 4 blocks from the White House. 50,000 square feet with room to expand. By the end of May, we'll be moving our staff in. The architectural plans are done. The exhibit design plans are done. Thousands and thousands of artifacts and exhibits are being sorted through by experts to determine what should go where to tell our story the best. As a point of pride, and and most of all, to reflect what I think all of us want is to make sure that we achieve the level of education, we achieve the level of support so that these things don't happen again.
We have to do exactly what Congressman Polonis said. We welcome normalization of relations, but not at the expense of historical justice and the truth of what really happened. What we need to tell our government is genocide recognition is inevitable, it will happen, and together we will reclaim all that is ours, the lives, the lands, everything that was taken away from us must be accounted for. Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Senator, our good friend Chuck Schumer, to the podium.
Arev, Yergal Prihayastan. That's it. History is continuous, and history demands that we never, ever forget. And let me say, we will continue to light the torch of truth until Turkey and every other nation in the world recognizes the horrible genocide that was done to the Armenian people in World War I. We will continue to speak and march until that genocide is recognized. Armenians and non-Armenians alike, people of goodwill, will tell the tale to their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, so that even after the last survivor of the Armenian Holocaust goes to his or her greater reward, the Holocaust will be remembered. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, truth always prevails. Sometimes it takes 100 years. Sometimes it takes less. Sometimes it takes more. But if people of goodwill light that torch of truth, it will always prevail. The fact that we have so many Armenians in this country is good for New York and good for America. And it means we will never forget the Armenian people for what they went through in Turkey and the great contributions they make to our country. Yergar Apri Hayastan.